Kellyanne Conway, she was talking about how when the president talked about his wiretapping going on, he didn't mean wiretapping per se. There's a lot of different ways today that you can, surveil someone. Mm-hmm. You could have it on your computer, on your TV. It could be in your microwave oven, right?
Sure. Toaster oven?
Baffled many of us, and we thought we'd bring on an expert from Utica College, Austen Givens. And Austen, good morning. I need some clarification here. How are you?
Good morning, Bill. Good to be with you. So, she was correct in the sense that wiretap is sort of an out-of-date term now.
Yeah.
It's more accurate to say something like intercept.
Okay.
So authorities can intercept emails. They can intercept text messages. They can intercept phone calls. So that's a more accurate way to describe it and think about it.
And it is very interesting in that New York State has rules on recording telephone conversations. And some of it, I think, is to protect consumers. Like you can record, like if I'm talking to you right now, I can record this conversation without your knowledge. In New York State, right. We're a one-party state. Now, what's interesting when it includes radio, we're under the rules that are set forth by the Federal Communications Commission, which say both parties must know that we're recording for broadcast. So it's kind of different, but in New York, one party can record, but you can't record, correct me if I'm wrong, Austen, I can't record you talking to somebody else without either one of your knowledge.
That's exactly right. So one of the people being recorded must be party in the conversation that is being recorded.
Yeah.
So, if you and I, Bill, were walking through Sangertown Mall, we couldn't just stick a tape recorder in somebody's face while they're chatting with a friend. That's not legal. But on the other hand, if you and I are walking through Sangertown Mall and, we're talking about shoes in a window that we see, and I'm secretly recording you talking about how beautiful these shoes are, that's totally fine. But I know you're not the type to talk about beautiful shoes.
No, that's not me. As a matter of fact, my wife questions all of my shoes. So, okay.
Now, but that's different, though, when you're the government getting surveillance on somebody.
Right. But even that, though, surveillance,
have a warrant.
the government could be recording you, and it's state by state. The rules are different in each state. But so I guess my question would now be about, there was a thing that came out about was it a Samsung TV or one of the TVs that they're saying that's been spying on you. Not necessarily with a camera looking at you in your living room, but following your habits. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So the Samsung TV is part of a larger family of devices being introduced, and these are called smart devices, smart home devices, the Internet of Things. Those terms all refer to basically the same stuff, and that is Internet-connected devices that are usually placed in your home that have some sort of fancy feature that makes them special. So the Samsung TV in question has a microphone on it that can hear voice commands. So instead of picking up a physical remote control, you can say to your TV, "Okay, TV, open guide, go to channel 38," that kind of thing. So that's neat. That's convenient. There are other devices that mimic this type of thing. Samsung also produces something called a Family Hub refrigerator that has a giant tablet on the front of it. It also has a camera inside the refrigerator door. So if you're at work, Bill, and you want to know what you need to stop at the grocery store for this afternoon, you can fire up that camera inside your fridge from your smartphone and see if you need to pick up eggs or milk. So that's kind of interesting.
It is interesting because
the home are connected to this too, like thermostats and garage door openers and security systems.
It's funny because the government could now look in to see if you're eating fatty stuff or something. That's full fat cream cheese there. Not good.
Watch that LDL.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Let me ask you this. This is an odd question. I don't know if it's your area of expertise, but on my phone, if I were to, whether it's Apple or any other app I download. I'm trying to think of what else I just got to, like Craigslist or something like that. When you post something on Craigslist, there's basically a form that says you have to acknowledge this before we go forward, right? Because they do get bits of information. But when you're buying a television, you don't sign a waiver that says I'm allowing you to put a microphone in my living room. Is there any legal issue there?
Well, that's a great point. The consent is implicit in the purchase. So Samsung and other manufacturers, I don't want to just pick on Samsung, that would do this kind of thing, sort of take an understanding from their lawyers that if you're purchasing the device, then you're well aware of all of its features, and that because you've purchased it, you're going to open the instruction manual and flip through it thoroughly, which is exactly what all of us do, right?
Right.
And by doing that, you're implicitly consenting to their monitoring of it. But that being said, I mean, there are ways around this. They're not very elegant, but one thing I advise all of my students to do, for example, is to put a little piece of painter's tape over the webcam on their laptops and the microphone on their laptops, because most laptops now come with both a webcam and microphone built in.
Yeah.
So you could do something similar like that with a Samsung Smart TV if you were just really uncomfortable using the microphone feature, but by the same token, you're losing the ability to control the television using your voice. So there's a trade-off.
Yeah, there's each convenience comes with a risk, it seems, and that's something you gotta, like. I have the tape over mine. Any of the webcams, I worry about somebody could hack in really, and all of a sudden they're spying on you in that way. Microwave oven though. Short of a special microwave oven that has been retrofitted by the FBI or CIA with some sort of a recording device, is there any way your microwave could spy on you?
Not that I'm aware of, Bill.
That's a new one.
I suspect that Kellyanne Conway may have just been using this for rhetorical effect, exaggerating to sort of get a rise out of people. Like you, I'm not aware of any way that short of a retrofit, a microwave could be used to snoop on somebody.
I thought she went a little too far when she said, well, look at Maxwell Smart had a phone in his shoe, right? I mean, anything could be possible here. Remember that? 99? Austen. Austen Gibbons, by the way, is assistant professor of cybersecurity at Utica College. And you have worked with Department of Defense, Homeland Security. You've worked under two members of Congress, and you're a cybersecurity expert. So I ask you, post 9/11, are you comfortable with, and even today now with the scares today of ISIS and all of this terrorists, are you comfortable with the rights that we as Americans are giving up right now?
I think everybody has to make an individual choice about how much privacy they're willing to surrender in order to be connected to others. You know, what I tell my students often is the conveniences we enjoy from using social media outlets like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and so on always come with a cost, but you may not recognize that cost right away. Every time you post a status about your preferences or your location or your plans, that's surrendering a little piece of you, and you give up control of that. So I'm not so much concerned about us giving up rights exactly, but what I am concerned about is us not being mindful of the fact that there are trade-offs associated with new technology. And especially for younger people, I don't think they take the time to really think through what it is that they're putting out there. If anything, I'd advise folks, not just young people, but all of us, to be a little more thoughtful and a little more cautious about what we post online.
I love Snapchat. Is it Snapchat the one that says you can send anything out, but it disappears and it's gone forever? A, I don't believe that. And B, there's a little thing called a screenshot. And so apparently with Snapchat, it'll tell the other person that a screenshot has been taken. But Austen, it's as easy as taking a camera or another phone and taking a picture of that, and there's no detection of that whatsoever.
Exactly right. And I think you're very right also, Bill, to be cautious about services like Snapchat that guarantee you perfect privacy or anonymity or things like that. There is no foolproof technology out there that can guarantee such things. Those are marketing claims.
Yeah, and listen, if there's not the red flag out there enough that The IRS is being hacked into. The Democratic committee's being hacked into. Everybody's being hacked into today. Don't go thinking just because a company tells you you're safe that your information is safe.
Exactly right. Be skeptical always. Be reasonably cautious with what you put out there, and generally you'll be fine. I wouldn't be afraid of technology. I mean, that's sort of the other extreme here.
Yeah.
That, people recoil from the world. I wouldn't go that far. But, just take a second or two and think about what it is that you're doing and how it could get out of your control. And I think that helps an awful lot.
One more follow-up on the what's in your house that can record you. Wasn't there recently a murder case where prosecutors tried to access, what is it, Google Alexa? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The little Google thing in your home? They wanted
Amazon
to know
Echo or whatever.
Something like that, where they wanted to know, was something said inside the house that may have been tied to the murder, and they were trying to get a warrant for that. What are your thoughts on that? I believe it was rejected. They said, no, you can't do that. But what are your thoughts on that?
Sure. So in a case like that, what we refer to that as digital forensic evidence. And this is increasingly common in all sorts of criminal cases. Police departments everywhere will do things like seek cell phone records from companies like Verizon, Sprint, AT&T. They'll also seek web browsing history. So if you have a laptop or computer in your house that you've used to surf the internet, they can pull that web surfing history off. So that sort of thing is pretty commonplace nowadays. It seems to me that the use of a device like the Echo or Alexa is really consistent with that trend. It may have been in this particular case you're talking about that the law enforcement agency applying for the warrant didn't do a good enough job explaining what it is that they thought would be on the device.
So you think that can be used maybe in the future if they go about it the right way?
Hey, if a judge gives if a judge signs off on it, right? I mean, it becomes something that could be admissible.
Didn't we have a story that like a parrot was called because a parrot had witnessed a murder or something?
Yeah.
So
kill your wife. Something like that, I think it was. Yeah. Austin Givens, thank you over at Utica College. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill.